The ladies of the South, wives and girls, of who lived on the plantations. They had the name called Southern Belle. One notable Southern belle you are familiar with would be Scarlett O'Hara and Melanie Wilkes from Gone with the Wind. So here we are from the Daily Life section in Story of America cards. The name Belle means beautiful in French. The name is a colloquialism for a debutante in the planter class of the antebellum South. The image of a Southern belle is often characterized by fashion elements, such as a hoop skirt, a corset, pantalettes, a wide-brim straw hat, and gloves, as signs of tanning were considered working class and unfashionable during this era. Parasols and fans were also often represented. Southern belles were expected to marry respectable young men and become ladies of society, dedicated to the family and community. The Southern belle archetype is characterized by Southern hospitality and cultivation of beauty, and a flatterness yet chaste demeanor. A beautiful young girl, gorgeously fitted out for a fancy ball at her own or a neighboring plantation, fits the image and many people have of the typical pre-Civil War Southern belle. Her skirt was puffed with crinolines, a new fashion from France, and fullness and ruffles accentuated a tiny waist. In fiction, she usually is portrayed as a coy and flirtatious, self-centered, without much sense of humor. She was supposedly dependent upon the men in her life, husbands and fathers and suitors, who flattered her and protected her because she had been served by personal servants from childhood. Her treatment of these household slaves has always been pictured as cruel and harsh. In reality, the wealthy young woman of the antebellum South was usually quite well educated, either at northern schools or local institutions, which provided polite educations for ladies. In addition to reading, writing, and arithmetic, she was taught French, music, and art, all in recollection of the fact that adventurous marriage involving sons and daughters of prominent families were of primary importance to the Southern economy. Although a young girl's education emphasized the social graces and aristocratic values of politeness and intelligent conversation, her adult years often made her religious demands on her. Once married, she was likely to find herself mistress of a large estate. The management of might depend very largely on her. The cruel and unjust intuition of slavery, accepted by the Southern woman as an unquestioned way of life, required extensive organizational ability on her part. The training and direction of the household slaves, a relatively privileged group compared to the field hands, was her responsibility. Her marginal skills were determined by the massive and lavish dinners, balls, and receptions for which she was celebrated. Not only did she submissive a complex household which included her family and working slaves, too young, too old, or too ill to be productive, she also frequently oversaw field operations during her husband's absence and was thus responsible for the management of a huge economy entirely. There were, in fact, probably more real demands made upon her than on a wealthy city-dwelling sister in the north. Thus, most Southern women needed sharp eyes and sharper minds to argument their magnolia blossom image until their treasured way of life was snuffed out by the Civil War. And that is the Southern Belles, told from the story of America Cart's daily life. Next time I'm gonna go over a controversial racial group. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, since they are can be considered related with African American slaves, I suppose. And my first time going into the Indian category, which is gonna be on the League of Five Nations first. So if you are into those ones, I'll see you next time when I get back into doing that. Anyway, bye!